DIYs-by-dar. Here is number 3 video on some thrift flips. And I am going to go over 4 projects that I completed to create some really cool smalls for my booth. So let's get into this. Okay, well, I have this Hobby Lobby really cool frame, really neat colors. It is actually brand new. Nobody ever used it. It was $29.99. I did get this for $3 at Goodwill. So I am going to get everything cleaned up. It's pretty dusty. Then I'm going to see what I can do to put some pictures together to put inside there. So let's get to it. Here is the first little picture I made up. So this is how I do this. Basically like scrapbooking, making a collage, and I use this Elemers school glue that is a purple color. It is acid free, so you could use it with photos and in scrapbooking. First, I find what I really am liking, and I just start to cut that out. So is it a collage? Is it scrapbooking? I don't know what it is, other than it's just really a lot of fun. I have all my pictures laid out, and I kind of go through and I pick different ones and lay them out to see what I might like to put on this. So I can go through a series of them and put together a collage that is something that I really like. And I cut all the pieces out, and then I just do a dry fit. Basically set them all on there and see if I like it before I start to glue it down. The first piece, I'm only going to put the glue on half of it because I need to leave it raised up on the edge because I have other pieces that need to go underneath it. So if you do something like this, you have to think about that before you completely glue every piece down. So this cardstock that I'm using is like a double heavy cardstock, and I have it cut to the actual size of the frame. And I line it up and I just start sticking my pieces down. And you will see that I did leave that flap up right there, so I can stick some other pieces underneath there. I left it a little long on the top because you never know. When you're eyeballing it and cutting it, sometimes things change. I either will cut off the piece or I will just fold it over and basically just stick it on the back of the card. I'll finally glue that flap down. So I'll put some glue on the card itself and then also on the picture. And I know you can't see it, but I kind of run that glue up to make sure it goes all the way to the edge. When you flap that down, if you have any of that purple glue come out of there, don't worry about it because it's going to dry clear anyway. All right, I have all my pieces on, and this is what I ended up with, and I like it. The last thing that I may do is take a Posca pen in gold or silver, and I may add dots or little lines or fill something in with some flashy, bright, metallic colors. There I have 2 of them done. I just have the 3rd one to go, and this piece will be completed. Okay, I have a set of candlesticks here. This one was from Goodwill for $3. Silver plated, but it's looking pretty scratched up and does have a couple dings. So I think it's going to have to go over with a paint upcycle. And then these 4 really cool candlesticks, they just look so boho. I wish that they would have been in good shape. These I got from a different resale shop. And on the bottom, they had tags. These were 50, these were 70, but then it said Steinmart price, which I haven't seen that in a long time. And they were like $20 cheaper than that. So $50 per candlestick for those, and $32 a piece for these. But I need to go through and check and see what kind of repairs I need to do with some porcelain repair clay that I have, or if they're just surface and I could just paint over them. So that's what I'm going to do next. Well, I only have one area that needs a little help. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, and then when it is dry, I can just lightly sand it and it'll be good to go. I went round and round on what color I wanted to put on these candlesticks, and I went with the peacock blue, and then I thought a secondary color with a stencil. Now your typical stencil would have been too hard to try to wrap around and get a good image. So what I did was I took a silk screen stencil and I did cut it on, in some cases, quite short. So I'm going to have to be extremely careful, probably even use some tape. And I am going to try to use some of this barn red and put some designs on these candlesticks. So we will see how this goes. And I have a cold, so I sound pretty weird. But anyway, let's give this a try and see what happens. I could be pooping and darning and painting over, which I'm sure is probably going to happen anyway. And I can't believe the difference in the color when I'm looking at these candlesticks. They're more of a deep turquoise, but when I'm looking at them through the camera, they're more of a deep sky blue, which they are not. So let's do this. Here I am starting the little silk print on the candlesticks. And I would imagine this is much like doing silk printing on a t-shirt. I didn't have anything small enough like a scraper to just scrape over the top. So I opted to just use a paintbrush. So we will see how this first one turns out. And, oh, I guess I'm going to have to go back and hand paint this. Well, let's see how the second one turns out. Oh, even worse than the first one. So you gotta clean out these silk screens every time you want to use it. Here they are, all completed. I did use some purple on the bottom of the larger and some red. I had to finish with that silk screen, at least 4 of them on the bottom to even those up. There was no way out of that one. And the red up there on the top. I found a smaller stencil that I had cut already, and I went to Posca pens instead. So I had more control, and you can see it worked out a whole lot better. I was able to get the designs on there without a problem. I also took a gold Posca pen, and anything that was a dot, I could put a dot on. I did put a dot, and you can see it there on the top of the candlesticks and the bottom. Now it is time for some DixieBelle Best Dang Wax in Brown, so I can bring out the texture in these areas, which I just did the bottom, that little area there at the top and the very top itself. So I'm going to get that all wiped back and make sure that my candlesticks are clean. And there we go. I did put a flat poly coat on them. Now it's time for my prints. I thought initially I was going to put some embellishments on the frame, but the frame was just too small. So I am going to take this brand new frame that I did get from Goodwill. That was $3, and this is going to be the frame that I'm using. I did draw the square where this print needs to lay on this backing. I added my glue all the way around and good on the ends before I placed it. So this is going to get a good layer of some of the glue. I put that backing down, and this backing wasn't real textured, so I didn't feel I needed to prime it, and I lined that up with what I drew, and hopefully this will come out square and line up good and look good with the mat over and in the frame. When I set that down, I just slowly start at one end and just press it down. Try not to move it, and firmly press down your print on that backing. And then at the end, I will also take a brayer, and I am going to take and roll that brayer across the top just for a little extra help. When I put that frame on, mat on that, it looks pretty good. It matches up great. Now it's time to paint that frame. I've got silk paint, all-in-one silk paint in Cactus. So I need to get 2 coats on the back, 2 coats on the front, and since it's silk, I don't have to have a primer or a sealer. It'll be good to go. Now on the print itself, I have some Modge Podge in gloss, and I'm going to put some on the top of this print, and that's going to give it little peaks and valleys, so it will actually look like a canvas. It will dry clear. My next project was some horses. They were metal, and I needed to get slick stick on them, 2 coats on both sides. My next layer is just some chalk mineral paint from DixieBelle in Coffee Bean, 1 coat on both sides. Now I have the patina paint from DixieBelle, the copper and the bronze. I want these to look like metal, like the one on the far right. And only 1 coat, that's all you need. And I'm tapping that all on there because more texture is great. last step, I have the mermaid tail, and I am going to go in certain areas and just dab some of this on, and when on both sides, one coat, and when it is done, I am going to seal this with some matte polycrylic spray. Okay, let's see if I can break this down and show you the finished items that I have for my booth and what these did cost me in the long run, as well as I'm going to go over a couple of Temu products. Now, I know a lot of people are against purchasing from Temu. I have been for a very, very long time. But since I just have such a lack of availability in my area for thrift shops, and right now any type of garage sales or yard sales that I can go to, I took another look at it. They do have really great prices on there. You do have to wait usually about 10 days before you get your items. I've had very good luck with them so far in ordering. The only thing that I haven't done is they always try to suck you into spinning this wheel and getting $100 free, but you have to use your phone and scan. I have not done that. I am not going to let Temu into my phone at all. The way that I do my ordering on Temu is I have an iPad that I use for the ordering. So they're not getting into my other computer system, or they're not getting in through my phone and having access to any of my other information. And so far it's worked out pretty good. When you go to the thrift shops, 95% of the time, the item that you pick up says made in China on the bottom of it. So it just seems like you can't really get away from it. So I'm going to go over some Temu purchases and the prices, and I will see how this will work out in my booth. Now, you did see these candlesticks, and I did purchase these from a thrift shop. And they were rather expensive. They were from Steinmart, if anybody can remember the name of that place. So like this one was 70 and this one was 50. But they were so chipped up, there was no saving them. So I went ahead and I painted them up in my boho style. And I have the large ones priced at $20 for a large one, and $16.95 for each one of the small ones. This was a Goodwill frame that I purchased, and this one came from Hobby Lobby. It was brand new when I purchased it. It was $29.98, and I didn't have to do anything to it other than clean it up. And then I have a series of scrapbook papers and pages, and I just went ahead and I made my own collage on the inside of these frames, kind of more on what I like, the seashore and the fantasy type of sea life that I really enjoy. So this can be set on a table or it can be hung up. And I purchased this for $3, and I am going to be selling this for $24.95. Oh, this cute little thing. Just found it in my basement for Easter. I bought the little eggs in the top at the dollar store for $1.25. It was just an item that was given to us, and we've had it for years and years. Really nothing special about it other than an Easter prop. I probably will put $11.95 or $12.95 on it. Now, this lamp, I have done a special tutorial on this lamp. You pretty much know how I do the bronzy base looking part of this. But I did an IOD inlay on the top, so I have a separate tutorial for it. And I did purchase this lampshade from Goodwill, brand new, at $4. And I did purchase this big old lamp, she's a big one, for $6 at Goodwill. And I probably will put a price tag of about $100 on this. And I believe the rest are going to be some Temu finds. My prints. The frames were $3 a piece at the Goodwill. And then I went ahead and I took some of the really cool cottagecore dark colored prints and put these in there. And as you can see earlier, I put some gesso over the top of the print itself to give it more of a real canvas effect. And the mats and the print itself I did purchase from Temu. Each one of these mats came out to 72 cents a piece, and each one of these prints were $1.57 a piece. I'm probably going to list these for $16.95 a piece. I wanted to do a little bit more of placemats and pillows and a little bit more of house goods in my booth. So I purchased these really cool placemats, and I only purchased 8 of them. They're in the theme of what my booth is, basically like a boho theme. And how much these were, they're 64 cents a piece. So I opted to just price them at $1.99 a piece. I got this big, beautiful boho runner, and the size on this is, it's 12.5 wide, and it is 72 inches long. And this was $3.99 on Temu, and I am just going to price this at $7.99. And they're all linen, they're all washable. I thought, you know, I went to the store and I checked out what regular linen type placemats and runners are costing, and these are really a good bargain. Now I did some pillows, bunches of pillows with all different types of boho designs, and I know some shops that you sell at, they do have rules that you can't sell anything that is used if it's not been completely deconstructed and cleaned and sanitized with new put over the top of it. But the one that I sell at is not like that. But anyway, these pillows are all brand new. They're 18 by 18 inch. Really nice pillows. Completely polyester, washable. The covers are complete linen, and they are also washable. So all I did was zip the cover on top of the pillow. And I have the pillows. I was told by the owner of the shop that I should price them up to like 22. I had them priced at $16.95, and when she said 22, I thought, well, all right, I'll kind of meet in the middle there, and I just have each pillow priced at $19.95. When you look at the breakdown of what these pillows did cost, each pillow by itself is, all right, where is it? Each pillow by itself is $6.75. And then for the pillow cover, which zips on, zips off, you can wash it, each pillowcase was $1.80. So that took my pillows to $8.55 a piece out of pocket. So $19.95, that's a little bit more than double. So I think they're beautiful. I'm actually going to put a few on my couch. I really like them a lot. The very last thing that I worked on were some metal horses. And when I got them, they were not, they were just steel colored metal. So I did take and paint them, which I'm sure you saw earlier in the video, and had them sealed up. So these small horses were $6 a piece. And I am going to charge $14.95 a piece. And then the last horse, this one was a bit bigger. Looks a little bit better up against the wall. You can see him better. He was priced at $10. So I'm probably going to put him at $19.95 or $21.95. And they look really cool on the wall, and they go really, really well with my booth. So my next video is probably going to be my lamp that I have shown you, that I used the IOD inlay on the shade part of it. So until the next one, see you later.